What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel. Don't worry. While there hasn't been many uploads this week, it's been working very, very hard, and it's coming. That's all I'm going to say. Patience. But today we get to react to the final blog posted ahead of the release of College Football 25, which is for the Road to Glory mode. A mode that I've missed dearly. I've missed a good Road to Glory / Superstar mode greatly. I mean, I have been very vocal about the state of Madden's Superstar mode. The state of, like, who is this mode for? Why are they going? Like, it has been a very frustrating couple years with the state of Superstar mode with Madden. And we're going to get to circle back to Madden at the end of this video. And hopefully it means improvements. Because everything about this, like, it's 97% what I would want in a Road to Glory, Return to Road to Glory. And all things equal, I was always partial. Like, when Madden had a good Superstar mode, and you had the Road to Glory at NCAA. I was always partial to the NCAA, always. So I'm going to have a little bit softer spot with a lot of the old aspects returning, which is good. So you get to start your journey. This is the only bad. You pick what type of recruit you're going to be. Elite, blue chip, contributor, or underdog. So I guess, in a way, it's good that you can basically be, I want to be a great player, or I want to be, work my way up. I want to be a grinder, So that's cool. But the fact that this essentially took the spot of starting in high school, it's the nostalgia factor for me. I love starting in high school as a Canadian. You could start in Canada. They had my school. They had my city, which was weird to see in a video game. And I love kind of just starting that spot. And then if I wanted to be a 5-star, I'd have to go nuclear, get like 300 yards a game and 4 touchdowns. Or if I wanted to be a little cupcakey, I literally would like self-sabotage and try to fumble as many times as possible. They create that like long, grindy journey. But it's not a deal breaker. It's not something that is going to even remotely put me off this mode. It was a nitpick. Very much a fair nitpick. I think the other big general nitpick was that there wasn't every position. It has been narrowed down to quarterback, running back, wide receiver, linebacker, or corner. Now, there was discussion whether or not this would be like off-ball linebacker / can you be an edge rusher, like a 3-4 outside linebacker. But as you can see in the choose your position, it is middle linebacker, so you can blitz. But I'm surprised there's no edge rusher. I feel like you definitely could have just added edge rusher as another position. And obviously, for the memes, in a perfect world, you could be any position. I could be a punter. I could straight up just do a 5-star punter Road to Glory. Or, you kind of be like a two-way player a little bit. You'd be the quarterback and the punter. You'd be the running back and the kicker. But the fact of the matter is 95% of people that play this mode are going to be one of these positions anyways. I definitely don't think it's a deal breaker as well. It's just not fully optimized, if you will, by having every single position in the game. So they break down quarterbacks, what it looks like when you start your journey as a QB. We get to pick your 3 archetypes: field general, scrambler, or improviser. Obviously, field general more on throw power and accuracy, scrambler more on your mobility. You have new customization options where you get the old belly shirt cut. You get the sweater. You can have your pants are up past your knees. You can really upset the old heads if you want. And I always just kind of hope in games like this that you just get more customization options. Like one of the bigger kicks in the you-know-what in Madden is like they add all this stuff to like the yard. I don't really, it doesn't really go into Ultimate, but they add like all this customization stuff. Like that should seep over into every mode. That should be something that would be cool. You get 3 bases here as well: fan favorite, road dog, and clear header. They're kind of your ability. And if you end up selecting a elite or blue chip, you get 1 more mental ability that you can throw on, so it just makes you that much more overpowered. And I do think that is kind of good that they differentiate between if you want to start with a 2-star and a 5-star. The 5-star all around is going to be a lot better. So with that, based off your star rating, you go to signing day, which is cool. I think there might have been ground to have maybe like the cutscene where you sit there and you pick your hat up off that'd be kind of cool. But it is what it is, nitpicking. And I'll tell you right now, I do plan on making a Road to Glory Dynasty of a running back from Canada. That's the greatest running back you've never heard of. And I have a couple ideas what schools we're going to be committing to. I have an idea what star rating we're going to be. You're not going to want to miss it. Throughout the week, the day-to-day, what do you do that's not just the games? What do you do when you're buried on the depth chart and you got to work your way up? Well, you get your practices going on. We got to get your gold medals. You got to earn your coach trust. And your coach trust is essentially like how you work your way up the depth chart. And obviously your medals are more towards XP. You have a couple options here. You have team mini games, which is where you play a 5-5 versus against the defense, or you have the skill mini games, which are, you know, pretty much what we're used to during Madden. You have the option to simulate. They'll give you the same amount of coach trust as your highest medal earned. So essentially, it's like old school Madden, where if you can get gold medal in, say, pass skeleton, you could just sim it there on out if you wanted to, and you keep rocking with the gold medal. So it does eliminate, I suppose, a certain level of tediousness, if you will. But, and I mean, honestly, and I think I speak for probably everyone, you're not going to play practice every single week, but there's going to be value in, honestly, grinding and at least getting a gold medal in every single mini game. So you at least have the opportunity and option that if you simulate, you're going to be getting the max XP and the max growth. Another aspect of a college football road to glory over in Madden 1 is you gotta study. They make it like a work week. You got 5 NG points to spend every week, 4 if you have a short week, 6 if you have a bye week, and you gotta juggle your time between academics, leadership, health, training, and brand. So for academics, you are basically gonna be able to spend your points. You got test readiness and GPA. And all these come down to like your midterm exams and stuff like that. I remember the old games, you actually would have to answer questions. Like it was like multiple choice. Get the old Scantron out there. But essentially, look, it's just going to be a bar-based system. And I would say this is probably the best balance you could have versus having to actually take the test yourself and Google the answers, especially for us that have been out of school for a long time. You know? C+ in math. You know? How about we go easy on it and let me just balance the time and make sure that my guy is at least basically prepared for his academics. But it's not just being a nerd, because maintaining your high GPA has other benefits within the world of college football 25. You get the fan favorite mental ability. If your GPA is above a 3, you'll activate a fan favorite ability. Or you have your weekly coach trust bonus. Your GPA will also affect your weekly trust. A higher GPA will result in a positive bonus, while a lower GPA, so you can't just ignore it. There's other value as opposed to just failing your tests. Which I do think there is certainly an element of like commit to Clemson, fail as many tests as you have, and then like you got to go to a 1-star school. I think that could be something that may be in store. Next up, we have leadership, which is the biggest aspect of this is tied into your coach trust, which is huge. If your leadership is high, you receive a positive bonus each week reflecting your coach's confidence in you as a team leader. The inverse is that if it's bad, it's going to negatively affect you. And it gets other boosts as well. Leadership affects your team's starting composure, but I think this is the biggest one, especially if you like pick with a smaller school. Your leadership also significantly impacts how fast your teammates progress. A strong leader acts as a multiplier, making your teammates better every day and helping them achieve their full potential. On the other hand, poor leadership can drag your teammates down, resulting in less than 100% XP for them. So prioritize this one, fellas. Maintaining your health is essentially another avenue of the new wear and tear system, which is, you know, hey, keep yourself healthy. Don't have a lot of negatives affecting you. As you can see here, get beat up a little bit. You get -6 mid accuracy, -5 throw power, -4 speed. You don't want that. You got training. Makes a lot of sense. It's going to be XP. You got to fill that full bar right there. Every time you fill that bar, you're going to get a skill point that you could spend and invest in your player. Now, there's a balancing game because you would think logically, screw this. I don't care about this other stuff. I just want max XP, max XP. You got to balance your training with health. Because if you are not properly recovering, your player's going to get hurt. You're going to have the negative players. You're going to go into the wear and tear system, and it's not going to be good. So it's very similar in a ways to like how you got to manage in the recruiting process, say in Dynasty Mode, where it's all about resource management. Now, brand is cool. This is something that's brand new. Your brand representation of all your off-field social status and influence. So I feel like this is something that's like been an aspect of like the 2K games. I feel like this is what people have said when a lot of times they're comparing the Superstar mode in 2K to the Superstar mode in Madden. Is like there's just a lot more in real life things kind of thrown into it. And building your brand, especially in the NIL era. As you can see here, as you grow your brand, you unlock NIL deal slots. These slots will be offered to you an off-field NIL opportunities, which can enhance your overall brand and provide additional benefits. Once you reach influencer tier, you'll activate the Road Dog ability. This special ability increases your composure gains when playing on the road, helping you perform better. Each time you perform the socialized action, you increase the number of follows you have, as well as your engagement meter. The more frequently you socialize, the higher your engagement meter will be. The higher engagement meter means the content is more likely to go viral, allowing you to achieve more followers. Cool. There's going to be like a scenario system where you get this hub here on a phone that's going to answer you a bunch of different questions. Like, hey, what kind of player do you want to be? I want to be a national championship. Hey, you got to go to class. You get a teammate reaching out to you. You get media. You get all these people, academic advisors. It's just kind of your day-to-day, expected aspect of a career mode. Kind of piggybacking off the brand breakdown, you go into the NIL deals come for duration, where there will be like an energy cost associated with them. It could be something that's upfront cost or a weekly cost over the course of the contract. But with these NIL deals, you do get gameplay bonuses, improvement to your in-game abilities, such as enhanced catching ability, speed, or better stamina, or you get off-field bonuses, such as increasing your number of followers, boosting your coach trust, or improving your health. So they are all great. Obviously, we don't know exactly what the pros and cons. At least there's a balancing act. There is going to be a pro to a con. So I imagine if you get something crazy that is overpowered, like, hey, let's bump up my speed, right? There's probably going to be a downturn. I imagine it would cost a lot of resources to get a big time bump like that. They give an example here that you can earn a deal with a physical therapy center. As reported, they want you to participate in a commercial shoot for the next month while you won't get your camera for Road to Glory. This deal will cost you 2 energy up front. In return, they'll give you free physical therapy sessions, which will give you immediate wear and tear recovery and improve your health. So by doing that, you will also free up more time, because throughout the week to week, you won't have to worry about the health aspect. So, I mean, definitely a cool aspect. And I will say the NIL in Road to Glory done a lot better than probably in Dynasty Mode. Also, break down the beginning. Coach trust is something that you earn, especially during your weekly training. What coach trust is for is working your way up through the depth chart. Ideally, if you don't go, you probably pick a smaller school, you're going to be starter sooner than later. But if you go to a bigger program, Power 5 team, you got to work your way up. And you work your way up by earning more and more coach trust, which is very similar to how it was in the older games. Best thing about coach trust is when you get enough, you got to open up a positional battle. So here's the example, still following the journey of our quarterback. And then you win your QB1 battle. And congratulations, your quarterback won. Don't start sucking, because you'll lose your coach trust and you'll fall back down the depth chart. But these are always fun. The thing that we kind of talked about in the beginning that they're expanding here is, like, you don't upgrade just throw power. You don't upgrade just speed. You need to upgrade. They break it down by skill groups. So essentially every single skill group, that's how you invest your points. As you see, you would have 4 points there. That is earned by getting your XP. But I don't think this is a quarterback anymore. This guy's jacked. But it'd be like, if you want speed, you'd have to go down to like quickness. And like that is where you'd spend 4 points and you would get bumps. But for this one here, it's elusiveness. So if you want to improve, say, break tackle, you're a running back, you want to improve your break tackle, you would have to invest it here into elusiveness, and hopefully you'd get the good roll on it. So it does add a little bit of variance. You can't just specifically target one attribute every single time. And obviously, as you get better, as your ratings get better, you unlock new mental abilities, you unlock new physical abilities, which these are, in line with like non-X Factor abilities kind of deal from Madden to get you guys kind of a close similarity. And then they kind of break down the gameplay here a little bit, which, it's always a slightly different camera angle focused on your player. Something that is new in relation to gameplay, though, is the wear and tear system. So if you are, like, in particular, the easier assumption is, I assume, like a scrambling quarterback that's getting beat up heavily. If your body takes too much damage, your coach may decide to pull you from the game and let you recover. If you start a game too damaged, you may not play at all, even if you're, like, quarterback 1. So managing your wear and tear, that is definitely a huge element. And the play calling, very similar to how the old game worked. When it starts out, you get one play. As you gain more and more coach trust, you'll be allowed to make more abilities and call audibles. I imagine, once you get the line of scrimmage, you will not have that. However, you can still make, wow. It says here you can't add, like, that was like the end game there a little bit. As far as like the gameplay in the older Road to Glories, you worked your way up, and the tippy top, the final thing was like, you would get like, at some point, let's say level 50 is the cap. At level 25, you can audible once. At level 40, you can audible twice. And at level 50, you can audible 3 times throughout the game. But you can't audible? If things aren't going your way, we now have and live in a world where the transfer portal is a gigantic aspect of the world of college football. And I love the fact that they're showing some love here to my beloved Florida Gators. And you can flip to various schools. I do think there's definitely going to be a lot of people that want to probably enter the portal every single year. Just work your way up. Go from a 1-star school, 2-star school, 4-star school, 5-star school. Kind of finish your journey, transfer around like you're... I'm trying to think, what player? There's definitely a couple like DJU, Clemson, to Oregon State, to Florida State. Like, let's just try to collect as many free hats and free training gear as you possibly can. Then finally, at the end of your journey, hopefully after you've won multiple Heismans, multiple national championships, you get the option to export your player to Madden, which is a huge win. They didn't have to have this feature in the game because they don't have it in Dynasty Mode. Dynasty Mode's a little bit more legality reasons, right? Because like basically it's been explained to me that, like, say you have Travis Hunter, right? You have Travis Hunter who has he's getting paid to be in this game. And so you have all his likeness, you have his face scan. And then if you want to export that draft class into Madden, he's not getting compensated being in Madden. And they're not going to be until they sign like the NFLPA agreements and all that stuff, which happens when they declare for the draft. I get it. It's annoying. I wish there was a workaround. I wish there was, I don't know. I wish there was, I think the only way you could have that work is like an option to scramble, like if you don't want to use real rosters at all. Like when you start your first dynasty, you hit like X and completely randomize all the rosters. And I feel like maybe if you chose that option, then you could export your draft classes. But I mean, who really would be picking that option? Because you'd be losing 4 years of real players. But at least you get that little bit of connectivity between the college game and Madden here in the Road to Glory Dynasty Mode. Because I could have just used it because they didn't have that in Dynasty. They could have just left it out and then you just finish this. And this gives me hope that, like, hey, if they are, and from everything I've seen, this Road to Glory is done well. It might not be the perfect one. It's their first year getting a crack at it. But at minimum, like, my expectations are, like, I'm going to be very happy, start to finish, in this Road to Glory at minimum. It might blow my mind. It might be the best that we talk. It might be the new standard that we refer to for football game Road to Glory Dynasty modes, right? I hope that's the case. So that means that standard has been set. I don't want to have that standard way up here. And then when I decide to export my player to Madden, Madden is still in the state that it's been the last couple of years. And we're just, whoop. And then we're playing at this bottom level of like, oh, here we go. More cutscenes. More combine cutscenes. Like, and that is all in saying I don't want to just crap all over the Madden. I think some of the changes they've improved in Superstar mode in Madden, like adding the mini games to the combine, that's a win. It's just that process took a step forward. The combine, the draft cutscenes, how the draft, that took a huge step forward last year in Madden Superstar mode. But like after that point, very disappointing in my opinion. That needs to raise its bar. They need to have the amount of like weekly, day-to-day grind that you have in this. So it's not as linear. And my decisions, pro or negative, end up meaning something, actually affecting my player. And I feel like, this may be that little internal competition where, like, Madden might have to step up because college football is now here. And they don't want the people working on the Madden game, they don't want everyone to kind of just crap all over the game, first and foremost, especially with the bar being raised by pretty much everything that has come out about college football 25. So I think we'd be cautiously optimistic that the Madden Superstar mode is going to carry its own weight here. And it's going to be worth exporting your player. And I don't want to just be like, well, I'm not really going to play the next Madden because it's not really going to be worth my time. I really want to be positive here because it'd be super cool if we could build something, have a very, very fun Road to Glory here, and be able to continue that in a Mike's time when the new Madden game drops. But I'd love to hear what you guys think about all things Road to Glory. I know mostly the people that watch and consume my content are Dynasty heads, but I think the natural move for people that play Dynasty, if you want to do something else, it's always been Road to Glory. It's not Ultimate Team. It's Road to Glory. I'm not dogging an Ultimate Team. Different strokes, different folks. If you can use it as a tax write-off, by all means, right? But a good, healthy Road to Glory Superstar mode is always the good change-up from if you get a little bored about your Dynasty mode. Maybe it's too hard and you're on a losing streak and you want to change it up. Go hop into Road to Glory. And having a mode that is worth playing, having a mode that is refreshing, having a mode that's engaging, having a mode that I can choose what journey I go on is gigantic. I cannot wait. It'll probably be, can't spoil anything, it'll probably be the first mode I pick up when the game fully drops, if I have to be honest with you guys. I cannot wait. I'd love to hear what you guys are picking for your journey. Is it consensus? Everyone wants to be elite, or I kind of feel like almost everyone wants to be the underdog and work your way up. Like that's that grind that a lot of the dynasty heads want to embrace. But I'd love to hear, and I'd also like to see what position do you guys choose. I think quarterback's always popular. I think you have to be a straight psycho to be corner. Even though I will say, when I played the yard, what little I played of the yard in Madden, corner was probably my favorite position. I just love locking guys down, but I always, it just feels weird to me. I already tell you right now, though, as a former high school running back myself, it's probably a spoiler. I'm going to be doing running back for sure. But I'd love to hear what you guys think about the mode. Patience, content, new videos are on the way. I can say. And if it is your first time stopping by, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button if you enjoyed. Until next time, your boy C4 saying peace out, love ya. Have a good one.